All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. We've got an exciting session today with Nathan Fiedler. Nathan, am I saying that correct?
That's the right way. First
All
time, man.
right.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
people butcher my name all the time. I get all kinds of strange sayings. So, no, I appreciate you being on this morning. We've got people jumping on right now, Nathan. We've got more people watching on Facebook as well. So, we'll be monitoring any questions on our Facebook group also for any questions coming in. But Nathan has a media company, Fiedler Films. He does a lot with social media. We've got an exciting training today. And so, Nathan, we're excited to have you on. Feel free to give your intro. Also, you are a co-host. If you need to share your screen for any kind of presentation or anything, feel free to do that as well. But we appreciate you being here. The floor is yours. We'll be monitoring questions that might be coming in as well.
Okay, that's great. Well, let me start with saying thank you, Michael. Appreciate the opportunity to share the things that we've learned. It took us a while to figure a lot of this stuff out, and I'm excited to, in a short amount of time, I promise, a short amount of time, share the things we've learned about social media. Michael, what's a good time for me to plan to wrap it up today?
Most things run about an hour, but I mean the floor
Yeah,
is yours, so it's going to vary on questions as well. So, but yeah,
yeah,
do your
yeah.
thing.
Well,
We're excited to learn from you.
great. I think an hour sounds good. We'll probably have everybody out of here before then, and we'll also have some time for question and answer. So I appreciate you monitoring on Facebook and obviously here. We'll see if we can get some people's questions answered. I do have a little presentation to help everybody today. Let me see if I can get it to cooperate. Let's go. Okay. Are we seeing the presentation, folks? Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up.
Yes, we can see it. Yep.
Okay. Well, everybody, this is turning strangers into clients. This is what you came here for today. We'll give a little bit of introduction here, and then we'll get the ball rolling. We're gonna start with, let's see here. There we go. Before we begin, some thank yous. Appreciate you, Michael, for orchestrating all of this. Angela was my connection to Michael. Angela works with us here at Fiedler Films, and we create a lot of video content for her, as you've probably seen. And so, appreciate the connection, Angela and Michael. Thanks for the chance to chat with all of our agents today. Uh,
Absolutely. No, appreciate you being here.
yeah. Just an overview of what today is going to look like. I'll give you a little background info about myself and why I should be giving this presentation at all. We'll talk about how to get started making videos as an agent. We're also going to talk about some different strategies to leverage videos to get more business, how to build a team around your content, one member at a time, because it's quickly going to become apparent that you can't do all of the different parts of video creation because as you get good at it and get clients, you're going to run out of time to do it all. And then if you stay to the end, there is a special gift for you. So, got to stay to the end to get the gift. And I promise I won't be long-winded because I get bored fast too. So, and then at the end, we'll have some question and answer. So if you want to stick around afterwards for that, you are more than welcome. Let's see here. Let me also do this. Oh, there we go. That works. Let me see if I can get my keyboard to let me out of this. You know what? I'll just do that later because I have some videos I'll show you today. I got to make sure that I have sound sharing on, but when we get to them, I'll figure it out. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody who made it here today, some of you are tired of some of the marketing methods that you have been trying because they're not working. If you're tired of paying for leads that don't pan out, if the Zillow leads or the Realtor.com leads are not working, if you are sick of being sweaty and sore from door knocking, I think all of us have probably been there a time or two. If you've experienced death by paper cut from thousands of mailers, I'm not saying stop doing the mailers, but man, sometimes it gets boring. And if you don't have kids to make them do all the mailers, then it can get annoying. So finally, I think we've all been here for sure. There's the feast or the famine of waiting on your sphere of influence. to send you some deals, right? And that can be a little challenging to have to just hope that something comes your way. If you've been sick of any of those situations, then we're going to help you today with another form of marketing that could make a big difference for you. Before we jump in, a little bit about me and why I should be saying any of this to you. I've been making videos for about 7 years now. I don't count anything before that because the videos were pretty bad before that. But 7 years professionally, been making content. And so in addition to that, I went to school for communication, for public speaking. And so, I've got a lot of background in how do we communicate an idea in a way that it will be able to be received by other people. So all of that kind of came together, and I decided to become an entrepreneur and take all the things I'd learned and apply them to a business, which is Fiedler Films, and I'm in my second full year of entrepreneurship. Um, Interestingly enough, content is how I turned my brand new business into a $250,000 business with inbound leads every week, and we did that by month 8 of our business. And that's not because I'm a business guru, because I'm not. I'm just a guy. I started a business, but content is how I built a lead machine, if you will, that got us to the point where the leads were coming to us. And by month 8, we had turned the business into a $250,000 business. And as you can imagine, it's continued to grow from there. So now I'm basically sharing with you the trade secrets, if you will. How can you, as an agent, take the same principles of content and expand your business? So, as we get rolling, it's important to establish, well, what kind of videos are we talking about? After we do that, we can dig into, well, what does it look like then to make those videos? First of all, as you can imagine, we're talking about short form content. We are talking about videos that are on Instagram, on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube Shorts. This is our opportunity to cast a wide net. We're not necessarily building deep relationships with this content, but we are reaching the largest number of people with our short videos. They won't all be clients, but this is where the people who will someday be our clients will first discover us. This is short form content, and this is going to include a couple of groups. It's going to include your sphere. It's going to include people who you already know. A lot of them already know, like, and trust you. And this is going to be the people that see the content first. And if they like it, then it'll also be shown to strangers. The algorithm is going to take how your sphere of influence sees the content. And if they like it, then it'll open the gates and let some strangers see it. And eventually, you can turn those strangers into your sphere and they'll become clients, and the system continues. And then, if you create your short form content and you generate enough interest, then you can build a deeper relationship with some of those followers using long form content. That's, YouTube style content. Maybe you have a website on a video on your website. But the strategy here is use short form content to cast a wide net so that a few of those people can dig deeper into a relationship with you by watching a longer video, getting additional face time with you. And this is a great opportunity to capture contact information. So if you've got your video hosted on YouTube, have a clear call to action, have your email address in the description. If you've got this on a landing page on a website, then definitely have a contact form. This is your chance to take, because you've built the funnel. You've got the short form up top, and it's all the way down to long form with a fewer number of the people. And then at the very bottom is, okay, well, these are going to be my leads that can potentially turn into deals. So that's what kind of videos we're making. Here's an example of one of those long form landing pages. We create these for our own business. We create these for real estate agents or investors or people in the industry to, again, to, you can see up at the top, attention real estate agents, right? This is made for a particular group of people, and this is going to solve a particular problem for you, and it's going to make you have a deeper level of trust for us. And that's what we're trying to do. Anytime you make a long form video, help somebody out and develop some trust with them. The whole purpose of this is to warm a stranger all the way up into a paying client. And this is how we do it with a combination of short and long form content. This is going to be an opportunity for the people in the audience, okay? So that you can unmute if you have a thought on this, because this is your chance, okay? Your time to shine. I want to hear from you. What do you feel like are some of the barriers to creating content? Maybe even personally, what is something that keeps you from making videos? Who's going to be the first one to hop in and let me know?
Not having makeup on. Then I feel like I have to heavily filter. I'm not gonna make a video today.
Thank you, Angela. Yes, that's not one that I necessarily have dealt with. However, if I'm having a bad hair day, I definitely feel that. And so, yeah, do I have to put on makeup today if I was going to have a day at home, That's a barrier. What else? Who else has a barrier to creating content?
Nathan, what about just like fear of the camera in general? Like
There it
it's
is.
difficult to get in front of the camera and you feel awkward, you feel silly. Like I've done that. I watch videos, I'm like, oh God, it's terrible. I sound stupid. So I think that maybe stops a lot of us.
That's a big one. I 100% agree. Being camera shy or just feeling like I don't feel confident about my abilities on camera. Yeah, that's huge. Thank you, Michael. Maggie, I think you unmuted. What do you got?
I think making like productive content, well, and I don't wouldn't even say like productive, but I do make content. It's just knowing the time frame. So like I when I make content, I I've noticed when you start losing viewers. So
Yeah,
knowing when the snag time is and knowing how to, I think you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah.
Knowing when the capture moment is and
Mhm.
how to continue that capture moment throughout because I lose people at a certain point um, in the content and then it starts to fall off, viewers start to fall off. So I've generated my platforms to know when my viewers fall off. And I can't continue to generate the content to where the viewers stay throughout the duration at a higher rate where
Yes,
I'd like
Maggie,
them to
that's
be.
great feedback. Yes, I'm hearing a lot of comments on strategy there. Like you have an understanding that watch time is such an important metric for success on social media. And if people aren't watching my video all the way through, well, then I'm not really succeeding because the algorithm's not going to show it to anybody else. And so, the question I'm hearing in that is like, how do I get people to watch the whole video? Right. So,
Correct. Yeah.
yeah,
Because I can
definitely.
capture them and I can capture them for a good amount of time. But then
Hmm.
how do I keep that capture rate and continue that rate going?
Great,
Because
great.
you can
Yeah.
get 100, 300, 400 people, but if they aren't watching it all the way through, then that algorithm is not continuing it to push it out to more people.
Yes, 100%. Maggie, great feedback. Thank you. I'm seeing some stuff in the chat. Let's see. Amanda said having relevant content, and especially when it comes to pre-making content, will it be relevant when it runs? Yeah, okay. I see where you're coming from. So if I batch create some content in advance, is it going to be relevant when it's posted? So I can see where you're coming from. I love that your goal is relevancy though, because that's huge. We're trying to make content for other people, not for us. So is it going to be relevant? That's huge. Dallas, what do I talk about and how do I make it not cringe for my friends? Oh, I'm gonna resist the urge to dig into that right this second. But that's a great one, Dallas. What do I talk about? It's probably one of the biggest ones that I get, in addition to I don't like myself on camera, right? And we'll discuss that today. Not making it cringe for my friends. Oh man, I love that. I can't wait to talk about that. We'll get there. From Facebook, Tim said, somebody hold the camera. That is very realistic, honestly. There's a lot of content that you can make with just a static something on a tripod, but sometimes you need somebody following you around. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Uh, Angela. Oh, Angela said, I think for me the biggest barrier isn't getting on camera, it's posting what I have videotaped because I'm picking it apart after filming it. And that happens too. And oh wow, the number of times I've had to post a video of myself that I thought, well, I hate this, but maybe somebody will like it. I hear that. Nicole said she just doesn't like her videos. She can do it if she doesn't have to be in the video. And while there's a place for faceless video content, definitely, the dare I say unfortunate reality of being in real estate is that it's such a personal brand, right? And so if I'm not on camera, then there's almost no brand, right? So there are so many barriers. I appreciate all of you sharing. I'm sure there are more things, and you're welcome to drop those in the chat. I'm going to move into maybe a little bit of some of the solutions to these things. And definitely during question and answer time, if something else comes up, please feel free to bring that up as well. I'm going to resume the share if I can make it work. There we go. And I've got sound sharing on now, so these videos will work later. Okay. Brief summary. Really appreciate all the feedback. Here's a few of the things that I hear often. I don't have time to make content. This is something that a lot of either top producers or people who are maybe, I'm trying to be a stay-at-home mom and do real estate, or maybe I'm doing my 9 to 5 and I'm trying to transition into real estate. I just don't have any time, right? Maybe you're unfamiliar with the tools. Like, I don't know how to edit a video or make it look good. I don't know how to make myself look professional with the camera. I don't know what to make or what to talk about. I feel uncomfortable on camera. Some people think they need expensive gear to get started. These are the barriers. So we're going to systematically destroy the barriers and help you get rolling on content. How do I make videos? It's a 4-tiered process. We're going to help you with each tier so that you can just push through the barriers and make content. First thing we got to do is script it. That's basically the idea generation. Then we film, then we edit, then we post. These are the 4 steps of content creation. Let's dive in. Scripting. Some of you mentioned, like, I'm not sure what I would want to talk about if I were going to make videos, or if I'm not talking, then what am I making if I'm not talking? So first thing you gotta do is find your niche. Now, I hear this all the time with agents, like, well, I want to work with everybody, right? And I get it. I get it. So did I before I branded myself as a video agency who serves people in real estate. I can make all kinds of videos, but I work with people in real estate. Now, do you think that means that I say no to everybody else and that I don't get any leads from people who want videos outside of the real estate industry? Well, no, I get tons of leads from people outside the real estate industry. Just because you choose a niche of people to target with your marketing doesn't mean that you are foregoing every other group. So I encourage you to find, at least internally, find a niche that it's like, okay, I want to work with fill in the blank. Maybe that means some of you have a passion for working with first-time home buyers. I applaud you because I am not that patient. However, some of you are, and I think that's fantastic. Okay. Some of you would really like to work with veterans. That's a difficult niche sometimes, but you're passionate about it, right? Some of you want to work with the people who are in the stage of life where it's like, hey, I need to downsize And that's tough because I don't want to leave this home that I've had and raised my kids in and all these things, right? But I want you to analyze within yourself, who do I really want to work with? Because that's then going to affect, well, then what am I talking about? What kind of content am I making? Because this isn't for me, it's for a specific group of people that I want to engage with me and to have me top of mind. So consider, who is your niche? The questions you can ask. What I'm going to do, essentially, I'm giving you a back-end document that we use to develop a profile for everybody that we work with. It's going to be 2 slides. This is one of them. Maybe you can screenshot it and once I get to the end of it, or write these down, because this is how we determine um, exactly who our target audience is and who we're trying to talk to. So here are the questions that we ask to find who our niche is. What is my niche? That's kind of a broad brush. What's their current and their desired situation? Right now, they're in a place they don't want to be. They currently have a house that's too big for them. They can't clean it. They can't get around it. Maybe it's 2 stories. They can't deal with that, right? If we're talking about people who want to downsize, for example. Their desired situation is to be in a home they can manage. There's a lot of barriers between them, right? So think through their current and their desired situation. What's stopping them from achieving their desired situation? And then what is our big promise? That's a huge question. Like, what is the thing that I am delivering to people? It's a really great question to ask ourselves. You're welcome to screenshot that if you want to. I think the next slide is going to be the rest of the document. We can come back to this at the end if we need to. What are the specific problems that they are facing? What are they angry about? Who are they angry at? Again, these are all touch points for us to consider, like, how do I talk to these people? What do I talk about from their experience? What have they tried that has failed? You know, if these people have tried to downsize, but they haven't succeeded because I mean, maybe at the time homes were just sitting on the market because there wasn't a lot of demand, interest rates went up, and so it's like, well, do I really want to sell this house now? And just, I've got a great interest rate. So what's the issue? What trends are occurring or will occur in their business? And then what are the emotions that they feel because of all of this? You're welcome to screenshot this one as well. These are the questions we ask to develop, like, who is my target audience? Who am I trying to talk to when I make my content? Now, listen, a lot of us, it's like, man, this is kind of a lot. Like, are we really going to deep dive this much just to make a video? But I promise you that whenever you go deep first, it becomes much easier to make the surface level decisions of, what do I make for a video today? Because we've done the deep work of figuring out exactly who we're trying to talk to, and then what kind of content do we make as a result of that. So that's the niche document. I believe that's all of it. Yes. So now what do I do with it? Well, we feed it to AI. Now, some of you, maybe you haven't used AI very much, but my recommendation is let AI do some of the heavy lifting when it comes to idea generation. What you're doing is you're feeding it some really, really detailed touch points, which is going to help a lot. So then feed this document to ChatGPT, and then have it organize and expand on the information, and that'll give you a nice final niche document that you can use to guide yourself when you're creating content. And then, and there's a lot we could talk about here, but just in brief, ask it to give you some short form content ideas based on the pain points of your target audience. You can ask it to give you hooks. You can prompt it to do so many things. And some of you probably have already used ChatGPT in a much more detailed way. So just know that if you're just getting started, feed this information to ChatGPT and then let it do some of the heavy lifting. You can ask it to even give you 15 to 30-second video scripts if you want to have it totally scripted out. That's if you're going to do talking head content, like you're talking to the camera. Lots of other kinds of content to do. We're going to talk about that right now. But again, utilize AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then obviously just tweak the results that it gives you to make it yours. And then this allows you to take this scripting process, this idea generation, and do it in batches. You can save yourself so much time. Here's what happens. Listen, you've done this. You have done this. We'll have a day where an idea comes to our minds for a video, and we try to do all 4 steps of the process at one time, and it makes us want to never make a video again because okay, I got the idea. Let me try to get my phone and any of the people I would need to make this happen. Let me try to figure out how to edit this in Instagram or TikTok or something. Let me get it posted. What do I do for hashtags? Do I need to say anything in the caption? We exhaust ourselves because we have not systematized this content creation. And then it gets like 200 views because we have not been consistently making content. Just the other day, the CEO of Instagram said, we're not intentionally nerfing people's content because they're not posting consistently. However, if you haven't shown up for a month and you post a video, we have no data to be able to say, yeah, this should be let through the algorithm gates. But if you've been consistently posting and it's been consistently quality content, then right out the gate, your video is going to perform better because you've been consistent. But so many of us give up on social media because we've not been consistent. And as a result, our occasional video really doesn't get off the ground because we weren't consistent. And so what I'm giving you is a systematized way to consistently get content out there so that you see results. Let me share an example, okay? Because this is just such a great example of this. We have one client. I'm going to show you some of her videos in a second. They're hilarious. She makes funny content, okay? That's not everybody's cup of tea, but she makes funny stuff. When we started, she'd get 500 views, 1,000 views, nothing awesome, right? But because she stuck with it and was consistent for several months, now I just looked at her stuff yesterday, and she's getting, 1 to 2 videos per week that get 30,000 plus views. And all of those people, that's the wide net. And she's getting a lot of people who could potentially be clients from that. And those are people, by the way, when you get into the 30,000 plus views, like whether that's a relocation client or you're scraping, a 25% off the top and you send them to somebody else who's a reputable agent, like there are all kinds of opportunities for deals, whether they're local or not. So my point with this is like the consistency pays off. Whenever you first of all figure out, who am I talking to? Let me talk to them very directly. She wants to work with first-time home buyers, so she's making funny TikToks because that's where the first-time home buyers are, right? Like they that's what they want to see. So ultimately, if you want to see success, you got to be consistent and you got to be intentional about who you're talking to. So let's hop back into our presentation here. That's scripting. Let's move to this very important last slide for scripting. This is develop your content pillars. Okay. So here's what you did. You figured out exactly who you want to work with. And that's a really important part of this. The next thing you have to do is decide, okay, well then what kinds of content do I make based on based on the people that I want to work with. So like I just mentioned, one of our clients makes funny content because they want to work with first-time home buyers, right? Angela is making a certain kind of content with us because of who she wants to work with. She's making some talking head videos. They look polished because Angela's a successful agent and she is looking to reinforce the idea that, like, hey, I'm top producing. I am sorry to puff you up in front of your friends, Angela, but it's like the concept is I am a professional. I've been doing this successfully for this many years, and I'm going to make my social media presence match what I have accomplished, right? So your job, now that you know who you're going to work with, is to develop your content pillars. What kinds of content are you going to make? So that's exactly what I just said right there on that bullet point. So here's an example. Do you want to make stay-at-home mom content, gym content? Do you want to talk about animals? Do you want to make local area spotlights? Some of the things on this list might surprise you because you may be thinking, well, I need to talk exclusively about real estate. And that is just not the case. Some people do. I'll be upfront with you though. The people who talk usually about exclusively real estate are often people who will try to have some kind of a coaching offer or get people in their, I guess, their downline, if you will. You're usually trying to also attract agents to your page if you're only talking about real estate, because for most people who are not actively looking to buy or sell, they're not super interested in the real estate content. So, because of that, what we recommend is definitely talk about real estate, show people that you're an agent, you're active, you're successful, but in addition to that, show a lot of different pillars about your life. Things like the fact that you're a mom, maybe that you're constantly at the gym, that you love animals, right? Like what is it about yourself that you want to share and that will attract the kinds of people that you want to work with, right? Um, there are, so for me, what I ended up doing is I went with the educational route. So what I do is I personally create a lot of, like, here's some helpful tips on how to make social media content. So I do that. And I also do funny content about being in the real estate industry. Okay. Those are some pillars that I chose. For agents, I recommend talking about your own life and talking about things that you feel that your target audience would resonate with about your life because it's such a personal brand. I want you to know that developing these will take time and revision. Eventually, you'll find the kinds of content that you love to make and that your audience loves too. So don't feel like you have to just nail it right out the gate. I had a lot of iteration before I was seeing success with my content, but it's just so important to understand that content pillars are essential. Choosing what kinds of content you're going to make are essential to seeing success because when people hit the follow button, they need to be able to feel confident that they're going to continue to see the same kinds of content. Otherwise, they'll leave if they don't continue to see the same style, the same stuff that they want to see. I said this already, but make content that people who aren't buying or selling will benefit from because this keeps you top of mind with everyone and gives you a chance at the algorithm. And once it becomes time to buy or sell, you're at the top of their mind and you're the one that they will use. So I can't, we do have to move on from this just because, we do have to finish the presentation, but I spend so much time on scripting because the rest of the things we talk about are very practical in nature. Like here's how to get this accomplished, here's how to do the filming, but it all kind of falls apart if we haven't chosen the right content pillars. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, I just opened the chat, but now I can't get it to close. Okay, I think you can see. Can you see this content pillar example? I'm going to see if we can get the audio to work. This is one of our clients. Check out this video from her. Yeah, probably relatable. I'll show it to you one more time. You've probably felt this way. That's kind of a first-time home buyer thing, but again, that's an example of funny content. And for what it's worth, also somewhat directed at real estate agents, other agents, right? If you feel that there's any chance that you would have a coaching offer or you're trying to recruit people to your brokerage, whatever you want to do, if you're trying to talk to other agents and you're making funny content for them, that it's easy to have an offer for them. Now, if you have no intention of doing that, then don't talk to other real estate agents with your content necessarily, unless you're trying to maybe build a network where you'll get referrals and things. But make sure you're talking to the people that you want to sell things to. I mean, I know it sounds crude, but it's what it is, right? But that's an example of something that's funny and geared toward other agents. Here's another one. Good friend of mine, Corey. Some of you might know him because he does real estate photography in the St. Louis area. He's also a professional headshot photographer. This is one of the content pillars that we built for him.
I'm gonna keep saying it. This was taken with a stupid cell phone. It's time for There are a lot of realtors with a lot of bad headshots. I'm not gonna say this is the worst one I've ever seen, but it's definitely the cheesiest one I've ever seen with the little Lego house. Look, just because you're removing the background and making it white does not make it a headshot. You know, this woman looks like she's probably a really good person, maybe a good realtor or a Lego builder, whatever she does, but she looks a little scared. It looks like she made an art project and she's kind of scared to show her parents what it is. If this was my house, this would be somebody that I would hire for sure. She looks like she really knows how to sell an 8 square inch house for ants. This is definitely a Remax agent.
Okay, so minus the Remax agent hate, very, very funny video. What you can see here is this is number one, talking head, technically in style. He's talking to the camera, but he's reviewing headshots because he's a headshot photographer, and kind of, I mean, he's shredding the headshot, right? So that's a content style. Like we thought, okay, what we're trying to do is show Corey has expertise in this area, but we want to do that in a way that's not just, hello, I am an expert, and telling the camera why you're good at what you're doing. Instead, we're like, how do we entertain people, add some humor, but also show that we're good at what we do? So we built this content pillar for Corey, and we called it Shred That Headshot, right? One more, and then we'll keep moving. This is the previous lady again, Stacy. Again, I mentioned animals. She loves dogs, and so she makes content about dogs because she's fostering a new one like every other time I see her. So here's another example of a content pillar.
When women get to a certain age, they start collecting dogs and cats. It's called menopause.
Okay, I don't know if you caught the humor there. Menopause sounds like menopause, and she gave me permission to make this video. So the goal here is, hey, let's attract other people who love animals, because that would be a good fit for a client for her, because those are the kinds of people that she would love to work with, right? So again, lots of different kinds of content pillars that exist out there. What you have to decide is what makes sense for me with my personality. What kind of things would I make? This is something that obviously we get to help all of our clients with, but as you're trying to sort through it, you know, it takes some time and iteration to figure out what works best for you. So that is content pillars, and that's a big deal. Those are a big deal to choose. Once you have decided who you're going to work with and what kinds of content you're going to make, that's when you can move on to filming, editing, posting. And those are not necessarily simpler, but it requires less discussion. So let's talk about filming. These will go quickly, okay, and we'll get to the gift, the free gift, and some question and answer, okay? Filming. Batch filming makes content creation possible. One of you mentioned like, hey, how do I make sure my content's going to be relevant if I batch it out and then we get to the time to post it and maybe it's not relevant? Totally get that. It might be true that that could happen with trends, but I'll tell you what. The lady who we just showed you a couple of examples with, we film with her once a month. Sometimes we film trends with her and we post them a month later. And the mini pause one, we posted that well after we saw somebody else do something similar. But she got, I think, over across all the platforms. YouTube, I think YouTube Shorts, I think she got 40,000 views on that one and 30,000 on TikTok, and I think that one might have been the one that got 60,000 on Instagram. So thousands and thousands of views, right? And all of those are potentially people who could work with her. And we batch filmed it, right? We filmed that content and then maybe a month later we created it. So I wouldn't worry too much about being not quite on the cutting edge because you can still see a lot of success. And by the way, I don't know if I explained what this means, batch filming. Filming a bunch of videos at one time. So that means I've got to script all my ideas and figure out what do I want to do. Let's say I'm going to make 10 videos this month. Well, we film them all at one time because it maximizes your flow, it maximizes your ability to create and to get as much done as possible in a short amount of time. If you're making any kind of talking head content, what you need to do is set up a key light. That's a light that's, I'd say at a 45-degree angle to you. I have one right here. Okay, you can see I'm kind of covering it up. So it's at a 45-degree angle. It's also up above and pointed down. And so that's a key light's going to help your light look, more cinematic, more intentional, as opposed to I'm sitting in my living room and I've got a can light giving me raccoon eyes from up above, right? We want it to look like we did this on purpose. So set up a key light, use your phone camera at eye level. I'm telling you, there's a time and a place for pro content and for coming across professional, but you can do a lot with your phone. So don't let the fact that you don't have a pro videographer with all the special gear with you prevent you from making content, because you don't have to. You can start with a phone. It's plenty good, okay? Oh, by the way, and at eye level, I forgot to emphasize that. Hey, you're going to look your best if it's at eye level. Don't go too low, don't go too high. You can maybe drift a little high or a little low, but eye level is ideal. Buy a decent mic that's compatible with your phone. If you have questions about gear, we can help you with that. We've got recommended entry-level gear list, so we can talk about that later. But get a decent mic, because good grief, if it's just your phone audio, ain't nobody gonna listen to that. Capture B-roll footage anytime you're out and about. When I say B-roll, I'm talking about like A-roll is the footage of you talking to the camera. That's the primary footage. B-roll is anything you show while you're talking. If you show a video of, in fact, here's your example. I think I have got an example. Yeah, here it is. And so you're making a video. You'll never forgive yourself for skipping these forest park activities. You'll already have B-roll because you took footage last time you were there. So let's say you sit down in your studio and you say to the camera, you'll never forgive yourself for skipping these forest park activities. Then you go through the forest park activities and then it's like, okay, I made that video and now I want to edit the video. Well, instead of having to hop in the car and go to Forest Park and film a bunch of footage, you don't have to, because you were already there a month ago, and everywhere you go, you're taking footage, B-roll footage of everything that you see, so that when you want to create content, you can sit down and just get it done instead of having to go visit a bunch of places. So anytime you go do something in your area, capture B-roll footage of the things that are around. Let me see if I have. Yeah, I already said that. My recommendation, just real quick, and we're going to move on to some editing stuff. Just take very slow pan footage with your phone, like just real slow. We're not trying to be crazy and dynamic. Just show off the areas, get different angles of things, show off what you're doing. Maybe get some footage of yourself doing it. That way you've got, I would say, minimum of 6-second video clips so that when you go to edit, you've got some options. The video clip's not too short, and you've got all the tools you need when you get to the editing room to get the edits done quickly and done well. Moving on to editing, we've got editing, posting, and then a gift is waiting for you. So hang with me, okay? CapCut is your friend. We almost lost it there when TikTok almost died, but because they're owned by the same company, but it's still here. And it's a great tool when you're looking to level up your edits. You can just use TikTok or Instagram to edit, and that's perfectly fine. CapCut is just a great way to take it to the next level without it being extremely like, I'm using actual, a professional video editor software. So CapCut's a great app to download on your phone. They also have a desktop version. I love that one. Always add captions. When you're editing, always put words on it, unless you're just making a skit or something. So many people watch videos with their sound off. So many people. Last stat I looked at was like 90%. So you always want to add the words on the screen while you're talking, because a lot of people won't watch it if they don't know what you're saying without audio. So always add captions. You can do that in CapCut really easy. Cool edits always help keep attention, but it's not as important as highly engaging content. So again, like, yes, you can hire us someday if you want to make the really cool edits. That does add value, but it's not as important as you making content that's highly engaging. So don't not make content because you're not a professional video editor. Make content, make it really interesting, objectively, and not just because you made the video. Make it objectively interesting, because that's what's going to see success on social media. Batch editing makes good use of your time. So again, if we script everything in a batch and get all the ideas, we film everything all at once, then we edit everything all at once, we are again maximizing flow and getting all of these things done as quickly as we possibly can. That's editing. We could talk for so long on that because there's so much that trips people up on editing, but suffice it to say, there's a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials on how to use CapCut. And if you are trying to learn how to be a video editor, then you can definitely find some good tutorials on that. Let's get to talk about posting real quick, and then we'll move forward. Where do I post? The places that we post for our clients usually are Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts. Sometimes we'll throw in LinkedIn. These are just some of the biggest platforms right now, and that's why we post here. I recommend spending 80% of your time focused on the one platform where your target audience would be. For me, a lot of those people are on Instagram or Facebook, so I focus on meta stuff, but we still post my content to TikTok and YouTube, and occasionally it blows up there, and I'm like, sure, fine with me. So it's really valuable to post everywhere, because why not? You already spent the time to make the content, throw it up on TikTok and see how it does. And sometimes you'll be very surprised by the results. How often do I post? Consistently. That's the key. Whatever you decide, like don't not make content because it's like, well, I can't post a video every day. Well, can you post one every other day? Can you post one once every 3 days? Whatever you can do, do it consistently so the algorithm knows, hey, these people are here and they're being here on purpose, right? They're consistently showing up. Consistency is such a huge deal. We talked about with the CEO of Instagram's comments already. So whatever you do, that's why we're systematizing this, because you have to show up consistently if you want to see success. I recommend using text hooks. What I mean by that is whenever you're making a video, put text on the video that kind of teases something that's going to be happening in the video later on. This one of you mentioned, like, I need to get people to watch all the way through the video. And one great way to do that is put a text hook on screen, just some words on the screen that's kind of stay static on the screen that gets people to wonder what's happening at the end of a video. We just made a video for our friends at a kitchen and bath remodeler here locally, and he was talking about a time when he put together his first cabinet, and he didn't glue it at all. He only put screws and brackets and didn't put any glue. And his friend asked him, like, "Hey, did you glue this?" He said, "No, I didn't. I didn't know you had to glue anything together." So it's a humorous story, but it's like he kind of had to build up to that, and nobody's going to watch up to that point unless they feel like there's going to be a payoff of some kind. But I mean, it took him 20 seconds to get there. So then why is anybody going to watch the video? Well, because I put a teaser at the beginning, a text hook that essentially said, it teased something in the very last line of the video. The last line of the video, he said something to the effect of, luckily, no cabinets fell off of the wall, right? So I put a text hook that said something to the effect of the cabinets fell off the wall, and an emoji that's like, oh no, right? So people are going to stick around to hear the story because they're like, oh wow, a cabinet is going to fall off the wall, is it going to hit somebody? Like it builds intrigue. People are wondering what's going to happen. So I really recommend using text hooks because that will allow people to wonder, hey, what's coming? What's going to be at the end of this video? Use the first line of the caption as another hook. That's another place where people's eyes go when they're analyzing, is this video worth watching all the way through? Maybe they see your text hook, they hear the first few words you say, then they're going to glance at the first line of your caption. That's the words at the bottom of your post, right? They're gonna look down there and decide, is this worth watching? And a lot of times I will use that first line to also tease something later in the video, or just tease some kind of intrigue, like, oh, what is that about? Maybe I watch the video to see what that's about. So posting is also a very strategic thing. It's not just an afterthought. Like when you go to post a video, man, put a text hook on there, use the first line of your caption to keep people interested, and please stop worrying about hashtags, long post captions, posting at the right times, and just make good content. Because I'm telling you what, there's so many creators out there who don't even put any thought into their caption. They don't put any hashtags. Maybe they put a couple of emojis in the caption and call it a day. But they are wildly successful because the videos are good videos. And the biggest metric on social media is watch time. Did people watch this? It doesn't even matter if they liked it or if they shared it. Did they watch it? Did they watch the whole thing? Because that's going to get it shown to more people. So that's posting. We've talked about scripting, filming, editing, and posting. All these things are going to allow you a lot of success. Very briefly, though, I got to mention this, you guys. If you do all this work to make the content and then you don't actually follow up with any of the people who you made connections with, then you're throwing all those leads in the trash. And I've seen it happen so often. So here's my quick advice. If somebody as an early creator, if somebody leaves a like, you can DM those people right away. You can start a conversation. You can build a relationship because you're building a brand new sphere of people on social media. Did they leave a like? Did they comment? Always comment back. maybe send them a DM after that, because like that person was warmed up enough to you that they decided to leave a comment. That's huge. And sometimes if we ghost people and don't reply to them, it's just like, oh, that's just a creator who doesn't care about me. So if they follow you, man, follow them back, send them a message. Follow up is so, so, so important. Here's a couple stats. 44% of salespeople give up after one follow-up attempt. So let's say you sent them a DM and they didn't respond. Some of us, that's it. It's like, okay, they don't really want to talk. Well, the reality is they're just kind of busy and they missed it. They weren't in the mood to talk right now. And a lot of people give up right there. 92% of salespeople give up after no sales on the fourth attempt. Okay, so if you ever DM'd somebody 4 times and not heard back, a lot of us don't even get that far, right? But 92% of us give up there. But guess what? 60% of customers say no 4 times before saying yes. So then 92% of us are missing out on 60% of sales because we stopped following up with somebody after attempt number 4. So here's something I just want to encourage you with. If you annoy a few people because you sent a bunch of DMs, it's not that big of a deal, because those weren't the clients that needed your help. But if you try to build relationships with people in the DMs, and I'm not even saying DMing people to sell to them. Like, I'm saying DMing people to build a relationship, to talk to them about their lives, about their families, and then eventually getting to, I'm a realtor, and if you need help, I'm here. But I'm just saying, if you give up on messaging somebody after just a few tries, then you're going to miss out on lots of deals. But building relationships in the DMs is just a huge way to take advantage of all the work you did to make this content. And so you got to spare 5 minutes and you're between tasks, that can just be your DM time. Anytime you need a filler activity, you're between showings, man, just start DMing the people who have been commenting on your stuff. Keep logs of like, hey, who have I been checking up on? How often have I talked to them? And make really good use of your leads. I said that. Yeah, if you got long form videos, that's a great thing to say, like, hey, I made this video about such and such topic, like how to relocate to Missouri, about top 5 suburbs, if we're allowed to say that. I don't know if we can say that, but we don't want to steer people. But just whatever's a valuable thing. You can always, like, anytime you can give a gift to somebody, like I'm about to give you, it's really ideal. Yeah, and always have a way for people to reach out to you. I don't think I have to tell you that. You guys put your phone numbers on everything, so this is great. All right, I'm going to share this with you. This will be another great screenshot opportunity, and then we're going to give you your gift, okay? This is how to build a team. This is rapidly going to become difficult for you to do all of the work, because once you get enough deals, it's like, man, I don't have time to do all this content stuff. So here's the responsibilities that I would recommend outsourcing in order of time restraint, okay? First thing I would get rid of is the editing. It's just time consuming. It's boring. I hate it personally. And so if you're looking to get rid of a piece of the content creation that's taken up a lot of time, hire an editor or an editing team on a monthly retainer. That's what I would do first. Next is posting. Hire a social media manager, social media assistant, get like a free intern or something to offload posting from your plate, because it's tedious. You're posting on 4 platforms. Every platform should ideally have a little bit different of a flavor to the caption. So get rid of posting. Next is shooting or filming. Hire a freelance videographer to batch shoot your content. And this really helps level up the quality. That's when you're ready for a quality level up. And like somebody mentioned in the comments, I need somebody to hold the camera. So that's what I would do next. Next, you can outsource the topics or ideas. Like, what do I talk about? You can hire a copywriter or a content writer to help you figure out, what do I do? Scaling team. You get to the point where it's like, man, I got all these different pieces. Now I got to hire somebody to oversee all those different pieces and keep them on the same page. At that point, it starts to kind of get in the weeds. So it becomes valuable to just hire an A to Z agency. And that's what we are at Fiedler Films. So if you get to the point where it's like, hey, I just want somebody who's going to handle all of the scripting, all the filming, editing, and posting, then you can call us and we can see what that looks like. But some of you are at the very beginning, and you'll get to the point where it's like, I just need to get rid of something that's taking up a lot of my time, and the editing and is a great place to start. And eventually you can get to the A to Z part where somebody just takes over and you show up to a content shoot for like 2 hours a month. That's what we're doing with Angela right now. And so if that's something that would be of interest to you, we're happy to talk. Okay. The gift. All right, so you can scan this QR code if you have another device that can do that. If not, then here's how you're going to get your gift. Either scan this or go over to Instagram, and Fiedler Films is the name of our page. What you're going to do is you're going to hit follow, and then you're going to DM us a word, okay? The word is gift. So once you scan that QR code, what you can do is click follow and then hit the word message, and that'll allow you to send us a message, and we want you to send us the word gift. What you'll see is one of the cool things that we do for the people who work with us, we build automations like this. I'm not going to be sending you any of this, but we built something that's going to automatically send you this. And the gift is going to be a video training that we made specifically for agents. Lots and lots of value packed inside. So again, if you've got your phone with you and you're on your laptop, you can just scan this QR code. If not, Fiedler Films, Fiedler Films is the name of our page. And then you can DM us the word gift, and the gift will be on its way. I'm just going to take a quick look. Okay, we've got 4 followers so far. Great job. You guys are figuring it out. And you can just start. Make sure you hit follow, though, because that'll definitely help it actually make the DM automation work. Great. Okay, I'm seeing it. Brittany figured it out. And several others of you are figuring it out. Oh, good. I'm seeing several of them come through. So that automation, if it doesn't work right away, it will work eventually. A lot of them are coming through. So that's going to send you a free training of ours. That's an example, by the way, of a long form video that helps to build trust. And that's one of the things that we try to do. And that's what we encourage you guys to do with the people that you would potentially serve. So that is how to turn strangers into clients with social media. Again, here is our handle at Fiedler Films if you need that for finding us on Instagram. We're also active on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn as well. So if you want to follow us those places, you can keep track of us there. Now, it's time for your questions. So I'm gonna end the share here, and then that way I can see you guys. And open it up for questions. I talked so much, you guys. So this is your chance to talk a little bit and ask for any clarification. So feel free to unmute. You can show your face. I'd love to see you guys if you're available to. And let's talk about what your questions are.
Nathan, that was really good. Appreciate it. I've got a question. So what do you think about, like, you're talking about shorts and things of that nature, so doing those, but then what about just like a still image, longer content post? Like, is that good? How much of that should we be doing as well? And then how do we get over the hurdle too? Like you touched on it, but like I'll post a real estate thing and get 4 likes. I'll post a picture of my baby daughter and get 200. So it's
Oh,
kind of
man.
like trying to figure out, right, like what the content is that people want, which I know you hit a lot on that, but like not getting discouraged, I guess, would be the biggest thing. You're posting stuff, you get 2 likes. How do you stay focused on continuing to do it?
Yeah, Michael, those are really, really insightful questions. And I think they really go hand in hand. So we talked about how the short form content's a wide net, right? We're trying to get a lot of people on board, but even the different content styles are a different size of net. So, I'll make a funny a funny video, and it'll get so many more views than anything else I make because a lot of people are just on social media because they're tired and they're doom scrolling and they want to see something that is funny, right? They don't really want to be educated right now. Some do, but not the majority all the time. So, what I see is there's room for a lot of different styles of content and just go into it knowing that like, okay, the my broad audience will probably like it when I post this funny video or this picture of my daughter, right? Because that's what they're there for. They're there for like really personal connection or something that's going to add some levity to their day. I'm also, though, like in my case, I'm going to be posting my podcast content where I interview a real estate agent about the industry and about making content as a realtor, right? That's going to appeal to some people and ideally to the people that I want to work with, right? It's not going to get as much engagement, but it's going to get engagement from the people that I would do business with. And that's really important, right? So when it comes to, for instance, you mentioned like, hey, well, what about a still post, with a lot of text, or like, what if I make a carousel post where I've got, several different, things with text? There's absolutely a place for that, and there is value in making those. We just have to go into it knowing that there's a good chance it won't get as much engagement, but it does still add value. It's still useful. It's great for breaking up what your feed looks like. So I would say don't get discouraged that there's not a ton of traction. Just know that going into it, that there are going to be varying levels of success with different kinds of content, but we know it going into it, and we can always, if we really need some encouragement, just do more of the stuff that people really like. And that way we are very top of mind. And then the few times that we talk about real estate, we're just reminding people that, hey, by the way, you've been engaging with all my stuff. I am in real estate. I do this really well, so that when the time comes, they work with us. Michael, does that help shine some light on that? Any
Yeah,
follow-up questions?
absolutely does. Yeah, definitely.
Great, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Another question just came in. Can AI suggest actual videos to post?
Yeah, Trish, so I would say, can it suggest videos to post? What we do is we get ideas for what to say or ideas for what kind of videos to make. So if you're trying to come up with your content pillars, AI can help you with that. So it can be like, hey, you should do this month, you should make 2 client testimonials. You should make 5 funny skit videos. Here are some ideas, and you should do such and such, right? So I would say that AI can come up with different styles of videos for you to create. AI can also, like, you can also generate AI videos. Those are there's some pretty funny ones out there. Um, and I think they're hilarious. However, they're probably not going to be super um, helpful for real estate agents who are trying to build a personal brand. If you're a meme page, like, yeah, you can make some funny AI videos, but since this is a personal brand, like, it really is about realtors showing up on camera. I'll give you I believe in that so much that, like, when agents ask me to make a listing video, like a home tour video, like, I won't make it unless the agent will be in the video, because to me, every time we make a video for an agent, it's like this needs to build their personal brand. And if they're not on camera, we're not building their brand. And I don't really think I'm going to sell this house with an Instagram video, because I'm going to sell it because it's on the MLS and somebody who wants a house is going to see it. Right. So that's how much I believe in realtors being on camera and building their personal brand. Great question, Trish. Angela, what does I have a blurb mean?
Oh, I have a little thing to say.
Yeah.
For me, when you had been reaching out to me over Instagram and Facebook, and I'll have to go back and count. I think Nathan had actually DM'd me like 10, 15 times before I was like, hey, let's talk about this over the course of a year. And it wasn't that I was ever not interested. It was that, maybe the time wasn't right, but that kind of goes back to his notes about don't be scared to DM people a few times. Um, but for me, it was about kind of legitimizing my brand and what I do because people hear, cousins, friends, whatever, that I sell real estate, or maybe they see it on my Facebook. But present day, I feel like most of the more successful agents have a very thick social media presence. And to me, when I was looking to get started, it wasn't so much as gather new clients, but let's really establish that I know what I'm talking about and that I'm not just getting referred because we're close friends. Um, or it could even be maybe you already get a lot of clients, but you're looking to kind of niche down or change your clientele and gear towards a certain type of client versus what you already have if you're looking to go deep versus going wide.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's a great. Well, thanks for giving some social proof, first of all, to that DMing, the fact that they don't answer doesn't mean they don't want to talk. Just means I'm not ready right now. And
Right. But you're available when they
yeah,
are.
yeah. And there are uh, that, your point about, you uh showing your professionalism and your trustworthiness in the industry by using professional looking content. Again, it's like personal branding matters so much in real estate because you are the brand. And so you're trying to show people, hey, this is the brand. I'm Angela. This is my experience, and this is the level that I show up for you. So I think that's awesome. Um, awesome insights into how personal branding is such a big deal. Yeah, thanks for
Totally. And you make
Angela.
it super easy. Nathan is so fun. We just go out to my parents' house and we hang out for like 3 hours and talk. And then it turns into these super great videos on Instagram. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
fun. It is a lot of fun. We appreciate you, Angela. What else? What other questions do we have, you guys? This is your chance to get all the freebies out of me.
I got one.
Yeah, Dallas.
So just like right now, my absolute favorite place to film videos is when I'm driving.
Yeah,
It just makes it to me feel very much more casual. Like not looking at the camera doesn't seem as weird.
great.
Um, but I also hear that, especially TikTok will penalize you for doing something that is obviously not recommended.
Mm.
So you got any take on that?
Yeah, it's a fair question. I am not aware of any like actual data that TikTok is going to pull that down. Like I've seen that before, like this violates standards, it's unsafe. We film content in vehicles, um, and we haven't been docked for that yet. So I think it would probably be a matter of testing it out. And I don't know how TikTok, if they're able to really tell if the vehicle's in motion or not. Like some people's whole bit is them sitting in their car filming. The car's not moving, but so I think you just have to experiment with that. But we like I was in a real estate investor's car the other day, and I'm like jammed up in the window trying to get some footage of him driving and just kind of talking because again like we see the value there and like this is very raw and organic. So in addition to his locked down, um, you know, like high quality interview setup, we're also like in the car just driving around. So I think that's great. I think you should keep doing that content style. It's really raw and organic, and a lot of people like that. So good stuff, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. What else, you guys? What other questions do we have?
I was going to recommend real quick people going and giving Angela a follow as well, and then they can see the videos you're creating for her. I think that'd be
Yeah.
a good idea for people to see those if they have
Totally.
interest.
I can drop my username in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be
And
awesome.
and if you guys want to pick my brain behind the scenes of what Nathan's like, I can totally chat with you. It's very concierge style. And for me, that was a big deal. Like I just did not have time or passion. Like I'm just not a social media content creator. Like I just really want to sell real estate. And he's allowed me to offload 100% of that. I mean, I just show up and we talk. And then he does the rest from there, which is great.
Yeah. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate that. And that's the goal. The goal is to remove the pressure of content creation so you can focus on what you do. And we can kind of take it from there. And another place to look, Angela's Instagram is going to be a great place to see her videos. You can also see a lot of the other kinds of videos and styles we make if you go to our Instagram and click on, like there are tabs, like there's the main grid, there's the reels. Towards the end should be the videos that were tagged in. And a lot of the videos that we post for our clients were tagged in. And so you can see some different styles there as well, in addition to the style we make for Angela. So
Nathan, what's your thought on Instagram and like Facebook stories?
yeah. Oh man. In fact, one great place if you want more on that would be head over to our YouTube channel. We've got a podcast episode. It's episode 1 of our podcast. We talk all about Instagram stories and how to use that as a real estate agent to get deals. But we have made a lot of money by being present in stories because it's an opportunity for people to make deeper connection with you, to feel like they're actually engaging with you as a person. The formal posts in your feed are, again, that's the wide net. Like that's how we're gonna get people to know we exist. We build relationships in the stories. We build relationships in the DMs. We build relationships with long form content. And so if you show up in stories every day, you show up in ways that allow people to engage with you, like asking questions or doing polls. It provides so much opportunity for people to come out of the shadows, if you will, and into actual engagement and socializing on social media. And that's how we turn people into actual clients because they become comfortable enough with us. So, Michael, great question. I can't recommend being present in your stories enough.
That's
Yeah, great.
great. That's super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah,
We'll
of
try to
course.
find that video too and post it in here as well.
Yeah, oh, that's a great one. Yeah. Fiedler Films is our YouTube channel, and it's episode 1 of the Scroll to Sold podcast. So yeah, hope
I
that's
think I do think also I want to underline how valuable I mean, I think we did it all over video, the worksheet about the type of clientele you're trying to get. And, going backwards from there, what do we need to post? I remember going into that conversation with a list of content that I had already been posting and had thought I wanted to post. And then we kind of compared that to the type of client I wanted to go after, and it didn't match at all. And it was like, well, I've been posting X and I'm seeking Y. So that really gave me some self-awareness of I need to pivot. If this is really what I'm chasing, I need to be going down the right path to get there.
yeah, yeah. That's great feedback. Thanks for sharing that. It's so easy. It's how I started. I started making content that other videographers would like way back in the day, years ago. And it's like, well, I'm not selling anything to videographers. Um, I'm trying to sell videos to business owners. So what am I doing? Right? It's so easy for us to make content for the wrong audience. So that's a great clarification, Angela. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. I've got a couple more minutes before I gotta hop on my next call. What else can I help with right now, you guys?
Anything else? I guess, yeah, no other questions, it looks like. I think we've answered everything on Facebook too, but anything else to add, Nathan, that you can think of just to kind of get people motivated to start doing this? Because I think that's the biggest thing. Like, of course, reach out to you. You're a wealth of knowledge. You can help. If an agent wants to try it on their own, you've given a really good blueprint for how to do that. But I feel like a lot of people too, it's that whole like paralysis through analysis or whatnot. They feel like there's so much they have to do that where do they even start in a way, right?
Yeah, man, if I were trying to take action based on the training today, I would say aim to make a batch of 10 videos. So do each part of the process in batches. Script 10 pieces of content. So, first thing you need to do is fill out your niche document, figure out what are some content pillars that would make sense. You can use ChatGPT to help you sort through some ideas, and then just go for it. This is going to be iterative, so you can change those things later, but come up with 10 video ideas, figure out everything you need to do to be able to do those in one sitting. I would say if you can slate 2 hours to create 10 videos, that's a good amount of time. Okay. And then after you've filmed those, then schedule another segment where it's like, okay, I'm just going to do nothing but edit these videos. Get all 10 of them done if you can. Then you have 10 videos ready to go. And all you have to do is once every 3 days, hop on those 4 platforms, maybe slate an hour to do this until you get faster at it, and just post your video. And the consistency, it's definitely a snowball effect, and you start to feel like, oh man, I could do this. So I would say shoot for 10 videos a month. You'll get to 30 videos a month eventually, but don't start there, start with 10 a month and see how far you can get. Yeah, that'd be
That's
my advice.
Yeah, that's super helpful advice because I know in the past when I've tried to do this, I would do like 3 videos and then I run out of content, and so I stop.
Yeah,
And so it's the whole consistency thing. So I think to your point, having a month of content, it's a really good idea.
yeah, yeah. It's a great way to do it. So, and ultimately, there are going to be other hiccups that you encounter, and like we're okay with you guys sending us DMs and just saying, "Hey, I'm trying to do this. What should I do?" Like we're happy to provide support when we're able to do that. And so you've got our Instagram now. Send us a message, and we're happy to help you out.
That's awesome, Nathan. Thank you so much. And we've linked all your contact info in here, all of your handles and that. We also put that, Leo found that YouTube video as well. So feel free to click on that, everybody. Check that out. Let's give Nathan a follow, though. We appreciate the help and support, and this has been extremely beneficial. So thank you for taking the time.
Yeah, of course. It was my pleasure. Great to meet you all. And Michael and Angela, thanks again, and look forward to the next time.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye.